because we talk about unreasonable hospitality.
I love the respect that you have. 400, 500 cars. Pressure is a privilege.
A privilege. Limping along is like, I'm great.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Welcome back. I am here with none other than our leader and GM, Miss Lisa Franz. Thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure. It was a long walk.
I know.
It was a long walk from my desk.
I don't know, maybe 10 feet or so.
Maybe.
It's longer from mine. It was like 15 from over there. Thank you for your time. I know, we've been wanting to get back behind the camera and just talk. It's been about maybe 3 or 4 years that I can remember since we had the interview back in the day when we first started the podcast. Okay, so let's touch bases on how this idea came apart about building an auction. In 2008, probably the worst time to build a business, period, not to mention an auto auction, and in Donna.
We started sitting in a bar. There was a cocktail napkin. My dad is notorious for writing things out on a cocktail napkin, and he had been in the dealership side of the business. He'd had dealerships, sold the dealerships, had spent time in auctions, loved the auction. It's an exciting kind of a industry. It's exciting. I mean, just auction day is a party. Adrenaline. So what we did was we sat down, we made a prospectus up. We kind of came up with, this is how much the property is going to cost us. This is what we think. Now, we didn't know. I mean, I still have that prospectus, and it's pretty funny. But we came up with, what do we think staffing is going to be? How much property we need? What's it gonna take just to get the building, the parking, and the staffing? And so that was our the first thing we did. Secondly, we had to go out and find investors because we knew that it was a much larger investment than we could handle, because one of the things you need to think about when you have an auction is, how do you floor those cars? So like today we sell, 300-400 cars. Well, I have to pay the seller for those cars before
you get paid.
Right. So I'm going to pay the seller. I've got a title now. Now I'm going to get the buyer to give me the money for that title. So imagine that it takes sometimes 30 days to get a title. So imagine I have 4 sales now. So now I've got 1,200 cars. Only half of those have I been paid for. But I've paid the seller and I have titles in hand.
So I got to ask, what was the number that you guys thought you would need to get by through a sale?
We originally thought we were going to, the money thing, we thought we had it worked out because we actually had a bank that was going to set up a floor plan. Okay. But 2008 happened, so that's another story, but we didn't have that floor plan when we opened. But we thought we were going to be able to get 200 cars. We were going to sell 100 every week, and we'd probably need about 15 people to staff the whole auction. That was off. It takes a few more people than that. I mean, now we have close to 80 employees, and that means we have detail a lot. We have transporters because we do drive and pick up cars ourselves, which some auctions don't. Some auctions have a third-party transport.
That's right, because we keep it old school.
Yeah, we do. We pick up cars and we deliver cars for dealers. But so those are the extra things we didn't think about. But anyway, we had a simple plan, and that was, if we could get 200 cars a week and sell 100, that would cover the costs for what we had come up with, our building, mind you, with investors. 2008 really threw a wrench into everything because nothing worked out. So at that point, we just had to. We committed to it, so it's just you bear and grin it.
You're at the point of no return. We're gonna.
There was we owed people money that we would 100% pay, and we had committed ourselves to getting it done. So the next thing we did was we were getting closer to opening, and we reached out to other people in the industry. And there were some very, very kind people. Mr. Tim Riley, who was with Midway in Waco, he's sold out to Alliance, and Alliance is now part of ACV. But he was kind enough to let us come into his auction, and he let us have access to all the departments. He said, from the gate to title company, titles, everything in between. That was a huge help.
Did you guys feel at that point when you were there, you're like, oh my, what have we
No,
done?
stupidly, we thought, oh, we got this.
We got this.
No big deal. We can do this. This was fun. And then Mr. John Swafford was in America's Buda, and he was kind enough when we started to look at our auction management system. We were able to go visit him, and he said, "Look at our system. This is what it does. Play with it. You can't hurt it." You know, and so there were really wonderful people in the industry that even before we opened the doors. Mm-hmm. And so I would say that's a huge thing, is reach out to the industry, get to know the associations, get to know people around you that can help you. And so let me think, what would be the next step? Because that was when the banking industry went to hell in a handbasket, and we then we really scrambled. I think that was just a.
And and putting all that into perspective, you know, I know like a couple of weeks ago we walked out to the back and we just looked outside, and it was like, to me it was surreal.
Yeah.
And to you, I'm sure it was surreal as well. Like, talk about how when you started to where we're at now, you know, the growth, not only as far as inventory goes, fleet and all that, consignment, but you know, did you ever picture it being this big? Did you ever think that, you know, maybe one day we'll sell 300, 400, 500 cars? Or was it just like 200, 100?
That was it. That was it. Just, we need 200, we're going to sell 100. I'm amazed when I look out and I see the way that the lot looks, or I walk into the office and I see how smoothly everything is handled. Because there again, when we first opened, we had 3-ring binders. And so we would take the bill of sale and we would punch the holes, and then we would put them in a 3-ring binder. And then we'd get a payment here and we'd move it to another 3-ring binder. And then if they floored, we moved it to the flooring 3-ring binder. And we did and we would sit on the floor behind the counter and lay them all out. And we were on our knees trying to figure them out. And I remember thinking, we are never, ever going to be able to get all this done before the next sale. And then the second sale, we didn't know what to do with the cars, so we actually exited every single car on the lot, put a new stock number on it, and drove every single car back through the
So all the no sales got exited and then
everything
re-registered
and came back, because we thought that's what we had to do.
Guys, there's an easier way to do it. We found that out.
There's a much easier way to do it. It took us a couple of weeks to figure it out. So we did a lot of crazy things. You know, looking back, we were that proverbial duck that's just like trying to look as cool as a cucumber above water, but just like paddling like crazy underneath, just to, because we move a car here and we move it back over here, and then we remember, oh no, we got to put a new label on it, we got to move it back over here. And so we were putting 20 miles on a car just driving around our lot because we didn't know what to do with it. So over the years, you know, now you go out there and you see everybody, and you know, you can ask somebody, you know, where's a blue Escort, and you know, immediately they're going to tell you, oh, I just saw it over there. And there's a lot of cars on the lot now. I mean, there's 1,200 cars back there.
At any given point, there's a lot
of cars.
And
so and they can do that because it's that organized now.
Do you feel that what you learned when you visited these different auctions, like worked for you in some capability, but then it was a lot more of we're going to learn it as we go because we really don't know what? Because there's so many systems and processes that go into place from the moment that a car, you know, when somebody calls you, hey, I have 10 cars, come pick them up. You're like, boom.
Absolutely.
Now the ball starts rolling.
Well, I mean, the things that we didn't know when we opened too was, you know, CRs. We weren't doing CRs on cars. So that's something we had to learn. Mm-hmm. You know, simulcast. We didn't have simulcast in all the lanes. We had to learn that. Then there's the outside the gate, OVE, open lane, smart auction. We didn't know, you know. So what we thought we were going to do is just run cars through the lane. We didn't know there were all these other things that went along with just your average everyday auction. I mean, it wasn't something that was, I mean, only special auctions have this. No. Auctions have this. We just didn't even know that.
No matter how big or small, these are the things you got to do.
Exactly. You know? We had no idea that these were things that were available. You know, we had a tank, and we go up and down the lanes and wash the cars. You know, it was just so remedial, and because of the kindness there again of different auctions and people who, even after we visited, allowed us to call them and ask questions. I mean, ask questions. You got to ask questions because, and don't be afraid that, there's so many acronyms in our industry too, that I remember thinking, okay, we just got to do that. That's an acronym. We do that one too. I mean,
That sounds important. We got to do that one.
Surely we have that one. I need that sticker on my front door. So I would say looking into, we didn't do that. I mean, but now, I mean, if I was going to open an auction, I'd say, well, these are definitely the things you want to do. I mean, get with these people, ask these questions, get to know this stuff before, because I was at conferences and I would sit and listen to people and they would say, well, IAASC, da-da. Oh yeah, I agree. I don't even know what that was, and I was just like, yeah, I agree. And that was years to find out, I just went along with everything because I thought that's what you do. I mean,
that's what you do. And
it's helpful to know more about it.
And now that you do know a lot about it, it all makes a lot more sense. Trust me, I include myself
100%.
in that because that's the way it was when I first started. And I was just like, what does that mean? What is that? And then now it's like, okay, duh, we get it. We just turned 17 last month, a couple of weeks ago. How did it all come about? 1, 2, did you ever picture this happening 17 years into it? 3, and what is the future?
No. To answer 2 first, I think I said it 100 times over the last few weeks, is we didn't know we were going to make it 5 years. We never saw 17 years down the road. It was like, we've got to get through. First of all, opening in 2008 was not the ideal time to open any business. Yeah. I think we were shocked that we made it to our first anniversary.
Yeah.
And then certainly didn't think anything about 5 years down the road, much less 17. And it feels like it was yesterday, and it feels like it was a million years ago, because I can't remember how hard it was.
The first couple of years were really, really hard,
the first couple of years were really hard. But it's like, I guess it's like having a baby. You don't remember how bad it hurt because you're just because you love the baby so much. And that's kind of like the auction. I mean, you love it so much that forget how hard it was when we opened.
So now that the baby is 17 years old.
Oh, it's gone. Getting ready to go off to school.
I remember
leave the nest.
I remember the amazing story of how it started back in 2008, and great things happen when they're written on a cocktail napkin, somewhere along those lines. And then fast forward, and you have this amazing place that so much work, effort, blood, sweat, and tears have been put into it. People have come, people have gone, great times, bad times, and everything in between. How do you manage all that?
Well, I think anybody who knows us knows that we've got a great team, starting with you,
100%.
Starting with Blanca, starting with, just our team is incredible. So, I mean, you couldn't do it without that. I think all glory and honor to God, because so much of, we talk about we're not auction people. We're hospitality people. We're in the auction business. And so there was nothing that we started that we knew how to do. So if it was just be kind, take care of the people, when you mess up, fess up.
Ooh, I like that. When you mess up, fess up. Remember that. Write that one down.
But that was the thing. I mean, we make mistakes still constantly, but we'll own them, and we will never cause our mistakes to hurt someone else. We'll take the hit. But then I think God's hand in all of this has been very apparent, especially looking back over the 17 years. I think it's real easy. Hindsight's 2020, but it's very apparent that every place we should have failed, every place that we thought there was no door, like we have gone as far as we can go, and I don't see an open door, I don't see an open window, and then there it is. Someone has
his light upon us,
and has placed people in the industry that I never would have imagined meeting and working with. Has just like plopped them in our laps. And this industry, I think, has been so crucial to our success because it is an industry that truly wants to see auctions succeed. Other auctions, independents, the big auctions, they really do want to see you succeed. It's very rare that you find somebody in this industry that is just out to get another auction. That doesn't happen here. Everybody really works hard to, and we all realize too that there's not a whole lot of auctions. The NAAA is, Pierre would shoot me, I should know this, but 350 auctions, maybe more. I'm
60, 70.
I'm just kind of, Auction Academy's been a long time ago and I can't remember, but
refresher course, shout out.
Yeah,
Auction Academy.
But I think it's such a small industry that everybody wants to see everybody do well, because the integrity and the trust in our industry is important. So if I fail, I really do hurt the entire industry. And I think we all realize that. So we all want to see everybody do well.
And I think even more so that independent auctions are kind of like we're losing the battle here, and there's less and less independence, and it almost feels like on a weekly basis we're like, what? Who just got bought out? Who's the acquisition?
Another friend.
So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about culture. I remember years ago, you said, somewhere along the lines like, okay, yes, our dealers mean the world to us. Yes, their loyalty and support really matters to us. But without our employees, we are nothing.
100%. I love that. I love that story about the starfish, and the man and the little boy are walking down the beach, and there's just thousands of starfish, and the little boy's picking them up and throwing one at a time into the water. And the man says, "What are you doing? You're never going to get all these starfish, back into the water. You're not making a difference." And the little boy picks up one. And he says, "But I made a difference to this one." And I think about that a lot, because I think about the people that come to Big Valley, our team members. They're here for a reason. They came here for a reason. And so if we don't provide a place for them to, first of all, feel safe, feel trusted, feel valued, they're with us more than they are with their families. We say that all the time. But if it's not a place that people enjoy to be, I wouldn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. And I've worked in places like that, for sure. But to create that culture was something that I didn't know. There again, I'm at God's hand and everything, but I didn't know how to create it. Maria, who was our comptroller, who I worked really close with, joined at the hip for years. She and I both knew what we wanted, but we weren't sure how to get there. She was much better at it than I am, because she would just throw herself in the middle of whatever was going on. And I was always hesitant, because I thought, these people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to mess up what they're doing. They don't want to, it took me years to realize that no, people did not think I was crazy when I walked out and asked them how it was going. And that was the only way they were ever going to truly believe that when we said, we do care for you, what I was saying and the way I was acting, they weren't compatible.
Matching up, yeah.
And so I had to get, because I'm more of I stay in a shell more. I'm not the person that's just going to walk in and go, hey. And so that was a hard learn for me. And once I started to get more involved with employees and really, I cared about them. I prayed for them. I loved them. I worried about them. But once I actually started to really interact a whole lot more, was when things started to change for me. And what I got out of it was so incredible, because I did kind of come out of my shell. I did feel like I was more a part of what we were doing here, and people started to trust that when I said I cared, they got to know me, and they said, oh, no, well, she does care. It's not just a...
And I think that was a big shifting point, because when they saw how much you started getting involved and being out there, then I believe, from my perspective, that's what made them believers, and saying, hey, she is doing what she says she's going to do. And then things started lining up perfectly. And then you fast forward to where we're at now. And I will say, guys, I'm sorry, we probably have the best culture in any auction in the United States. And if you haven't visited us, this is an invitation to come and visit us and check us out.
Please come visit.
But that's a shameless plug. Now let's move on and talk about So since last time we did this, like I said, it was 3 or 4 years ago. A lot has changed. Can we talk about a couple changes? Can we talk about the additions? Can we talk about this thing called Auction Excellence? Can we talk about what we're doing and where we're looking towards the future?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. We mentioned it'd be nice to have 2 more lanes in passing. It would help, with obviously with lane placement and help us grow. And don't mention that in front of Dad if you don't want to have something ripped down. And so about within a week we had
Not even we were like 3 or 4 days.
the steel building people were here, and we cut the back end off the bay and added 2 new lanes, which was like so exciting to see it happening. But at the same time, to think that we decided that our 17th anniversary sale was the day we should debut that lane. That was probably not my.
I think we thought it and said that would
sounded
be pretty
like great
cool,
idea.
And then we said we're running with it. That's our deadline. And man, trial and error, and it wasn't the best opening to a lane, I would say.
It was a little
But
shaky.
you live and you learn, I guess.
I think we pretty much finished apologizing to all the dealers that threatened to leave us.
Yeah.
I hope we've made it up. We did some kind of audacious things just to try to make it up to them, but and today went better.
Yes,
Today went better.
Definitely.
But it's live and learn. I mean, again, I go back to we're not auction people. We don't know how to open new lanes. It just we got excited. We love this. We love what we do, and we're all in. Good, bad, or otherwise. And I think maybe that one's still out for debate. I don't know if it was good or bad.
I know it's a great idea. We'll just figure out how great it is as the time goes by, and then I think that's what that'll make it count.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about things that we have changed here in the not too long ago. We started this program with Auction Excellence. Tell me how you feel about it, how important it is, and where do you see it going here in the near future?
I mean, Auction Excellence has been something great. We talk about Auction Excellence. It's funny, a few years back, we started talking about how that excellence in the auction was something we wanted.
And it's right there on the door.
Yeah, and it's so funny. And then we meet this person that's come up with this amazing company, Auction Excellence, with Kirk Zotter. I always knew that this is something I wanted. There again, it goes to show you how kind the industry is, because I just happened to be on an IAG visit, Independent Auction Group, shameless plug. You should either be an associate member or an auction member.
They're recruiting Connor.
But was just on an IAG visit to another independent, and he started DAA Southwest. Amazing auction, amazing operators. And Jim just said, this is a new process we're doing. And I got lucky that Kirk was actually there. And so after we got to see the auction, then he started to discuss or tell us more about the process. And so within, meeting Kirk, 15 minutes of talking to him, and I realized this was what I didn't know. This is what I didn't know I wanted. Yeah. And so what he has done is come in. It started the next day. We met him at the hotel, talked to him about it, and he actually just took a Google map picture of the auction and said, I'm going to play with this. That's all he needed. And he started to kind of look at our actually floor plan and say, these are things I think you can do. And then he came to visit us. And what he did was turn us upside down, shake us real good, and let us land where we should have been all along. And so his process has taken us from a 2-week process to a 5-hour process, which is incredible. We work in real time now. We're not chasing cars around. I mean, if a car is cleared for sale an hour before the sale,
We'll be all right.
It'll make it in the sale. Not a problem. As long as we see that email, it will make it into the sale. And he is, and I'm excited to continue to work with him, because through all of our departments, creating SOPs and processes that we don't know. We didn't know what we don't know. I think it's kind of funny every now and then we're talking to somebody and they'll talk about an operations manager and I always want to say, tell me what the job description for your operation manager is, because I think ours might be a little different.
Yeah.
we might call it something else, but we've just kind of created these positions ourselves. But Kirk has come in and said, this is what this is supposed, and this is how it's supposed to look, and
Yeah, and I think to his credit, he has revolutionized what we did as a company to provide a better service, not only for our fleet accounts, but also our local dealers and everybody around. I think it's shine light on a lot of inefficiencies that we had, and we have made those into efficient processes that we can honestly say, you need to clear 5-10 cars an hour before the sale. Do it. We got it.
we'll get them in there.
We couldn't say that for the past 16
Oh, you and I have been out there detailing cars.
We'll be out there. We'll be like, no, there's no way. Okay, yes, we'll get it done. And it's kind of like that duck. He's calm on the top, and on the bottom, he's swimming and trying to stay afloat. But I think that's also something for you to identify as a leader, to see that was something that you didn't know you wanted, like you said, and now that we have it, we're like, oh, wish we could have done this years
Oh, it's
ago.
amazing.
Years ago.
And I think we've always talked about, we have that fear of, we're going to do a good job for our customers, but what if another customer comes in? Do we jump to that customer and maybe not do a good job for the customer that, started with us? We have those customers that were here in the very beginning that gave us a chance when no one else did. I'm going to take care of them forever. I will never, ever, ever, I'll die on that sword. We're going to take care of them because they trusted us so early in our life as an auction. But to have a new customer come in and say, I can guarantee you this level of service, and I know it's not going to hurt anybody else. That was always because you're out there and you're talking to people, and and nothing's worse than going to meet somebody and saying, I can do this for you, and then not living up to it.
100%. And that's one of the things that I've always said. I would never overpromise and underdeliver. And I think, now with the process that we have, we can honestly overpromise and we will still deliver just because of how good it is.
Yeah.
And thank you, Kirk, for that. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about what do we see for Big Valley in the future? Coming into year 18, because technically we're already towards the 18th year of the company. What is your vision for it?
I'm excited that I kind of see this widening vision of, we want to grow. We really want, we want to grow commercial accounts. One of the speakers last week at the conference, we talking with Jim Dance, and he had a great, I thought it was like perspective, because we talk about unreasonable hospitality and just really giving something unexpected to our customers, but also never forget, don't stop focusing on where those problem things, the friction. The friction points for the customers. And so I think that's something that I definitely want to be focusing more on, putting ourselves in our customers' shoes, because while I think we do take good care of our buyers and sellers, if anything we can do to tweak it and just make it a more frictionless experience, I really want to do that. Honestly, I want to focus more on our community too. I'm excited about some opportunities that Big Valley has to go out into the community and work with the community more. And I think that is something, being here, South Texas, Donna, Texas, one of the poorest regions in Texas, we are, given this, it's almost, I don't want to say a ministry, but we've been given something that we don't necessarily deserve, and so therefore I think we owe it, to whom much is given, much is expected, so I think that even more and more I want to see us as an auction family turn into the community.
I love that, because that's what I think, the future of not only the auction, but, society in itself and the world, they're out there. And we got to try to pour into them as businesses to help those environments be better places for them, so that they can have better upbringing, hence a brighter future.
And a ripple effect. For their children, for their, that little ripple effect. If we can do something for someone who's here that or in our community that's in need. I mean, we could change their forward path.
100%.
And I think that's, I mean, and my dad, I mean, more than anyone, I think, is just highly aware of our blessings and how he wants to make sure that the community is blessed, because we have been blessed.
Yeah, he does say that a lot. And it's funny you mentioned that, because my next question is, you know, seeing your dad, and you guys have a very, very, very tight-knit relationship, and I love that, because I hope to have that with my daughter too. But tell me a bit about your dad. Tell me about how you see him. I love the way you interact with them, and him being where he's at in his life, and you being it, and you still, yes sir, no sir, and I love the respect that you have, and it's just something so admirable that I try to pass on to my kids. But, you know, tell me about your dad. Tell me, you know, what does he mean to you? You know, what do you want for him, and have you served him well for the little cocktail idea that he had back in '08?
I hope I have. He says all the time that he loves coming in. I know he gets excited. I hear him come through the door. I hear the voice, but it takes him 20 minutes to get to the office, because he has to go around. He hugs everybody, checks on everybody. I mean, he loves to walk around, and he loves being loved on. You know, he loves to love on people, and he loves being loved on. Yeah, I've always been a daddy's girl, and we've worked together for the last 35 years. I mean, when I moved here to Texas, he moved right after that, and we had restaurants together. So we've worked every day together for 35 years. But he's always just been my greatest inspiration. My dad is fearless, and he's worked in construction. He's worked in restaurants. Had dealerships. He's, you know, auctions. I mean, Dad is fearless. He can do anything. I mean, development.
And he's still doing it at the age of 82. Almost 83. And he's still constructing.
Yeah.
He's still, I mean, Jesus, he's still racing cars, which
I
is
mean, that
crazy
was
to even talk about. You know, and it's just like, to him, it's just like, oh, that's not a big deal to me. Like, let's see what tomorrow brings, and let's see what we can get into.
He just has such an incredible, like Dad's, I mean, never complains. You know, how you feeling? You can tell. You know, he's limping along. He's like, I'm great. You know, I'm doing super. And, you know, the race car, I mean, you know, he can hardly get up and get in it. And how's it going? I'm ready. You know, I'm ready. Let's go fast.
But I think also that as much as he drives you, you drive him. And because he sees you, and in my opinion, from my perspective, you know, standing out here on the outside, he wants to make sure that you're proud of him for everything that he does, and you guys have done together.
He has taught me everything I know.
It's a beautiful thing.
He has taught me everything I know. And, I mean, I hope I do him justice, but I mean, he's the smartest person I know. And just when he comes in and tells me something and I'm thinking, that doesn't make sense, I don't get it, and he'll I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. You know, I mean, he's right. He's always right.
And he's like a walking calculator too, because he's amazing at mathematics.
Quicker than I can find my calculator app.
Like that. Yeah, go ahead, check me. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
No, his mind is incredible.
So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about this beautiful auction industry that we love so much. Tell me about some of your roles that you have in different organizations.
Well, I'm proud to be a member of the board of in the NAAA, and there again, I'm only on that board because of my friends in Mannheim that were so kind to reach out and say, no, we think you would do this, and we want you to be a part of this, and that was just amazing. Then my friend Dave Blake, who is the executive director of IAG, he is. If there's anyone in the industry that just lives and breathes independence, it's Dave. And he spends every waking moment thinking of ways to improve, I guess, the communication between the independents and the rest of the industry, and to provide just great opportunities for us, whether it's with technology companies or other associations that we can work with to create content, to create learning modules, just to create the connections. IAG is amazing. I'm super excited about that. But I'll say first and foremost, in AAA is our association. We are an auction, and that is the most important auction association that you can be a part of. And then I think that we're real proud to be a ServNet auction
100%.
because these are auctions that over the last 17 years, I won't admit that I stalked auctions online, but I did absolutely. I mean, because so much of what I learned was just by looking at websites and looking at their different events. And time's over.
Sorry
I'm
about
done. That's it. But just learning from these auctions who are, I mean, these are some of the oldest auctions, some of the biggest auctions, some of the most, I mean, incredible people, operators, and every one of them had been nothing but kind to us. So when we had an opportunity to become members, I mean, that was a very high honor, to be asked and to be accepted as a member. Are there other associations? I don't know there's anything else.
I don't know, but all I know is that years ago we had a conversation somewhere we were at, and you said, somewhere along the lines, you said, the day that I become NAAA president,
I never said that.
I will wear the hot pink high heels. And I said, the day you become NAAA president, I will buy you the hot pink high heels.
I think I was wearing the hot pink high heels, and somebody said something about me being president, and as a side note, a joke, that is not in my future. Maybe yours. Maybe yours.
No, we'll see. There's a lot of things.
But what an industry. I mean,
and it's amazing. Like, we go to these conferences, and there's a lot of information to take in, but I think the relationships that have been established throughout the years, you can easily count on somebody that's way across the country to help you with something that you would have never thought. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't know if there's other industries that say they can have the same capability to do that.
And someone I would give a lot of credit, of course, I mean, TPC Management, God, we love them. Auction Academy, though, has created that, I think, within our industry. There's Class 9 is happening right now. So I mean, each class is between 15 and 30 people, something like that. So now on the 9th class, you think about, they're not just auction owners, there are children of auction owners or auction employees, because now they're all the ancillary industry companies as well. I mean, you've got Next Gear, and you've got I think ACV's in it, which, I mean, a new auction, independent auction. Those people are coming together in ways that never happened before. And you go into a conference, and you might have somebody from marketing at this auction hanging out with someone who's in a flooring company, and they're all friends. Yeah. And so I think that Auction Academy has been a huge catalyst in that.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel like the coalition, if you will, is becoming a collaboration within the different organizations. And I'm not saying that shouldn't think that's just the way I see it, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Talk about a little bit about who has been a mentor to you throughout your auction career.
I mean, there's been so many people that I would say. One of the ones, I mean, going another Mannheim people, Mike Browning, Nicole Ponce Graham. Those have been just really amazing people that I can call them and ask them a stupid question, and they don't make me feel stupid. They're really kind about it. Dave Blake, I feel like when everything is happening, and I don't understand exactly the ins and outs and what this means to maybe either our auction or to independents or to the industry itself. Dave has such a clear, concise understanding that he is a huge help. Jane Morgan is someone that just, I mean, an icon, and her perspective, and then I go to Chad Bailey and Charlotte Pyle and Emily from State Line, and I mean, there's just so many people that have either inspired me. I mean, I think Emily's so young and so incredible and so smart, and Charlotte is so she just gets it. And Chad has this incredible insight and perspective that I just can't wait to hear what Chad's going to say. Jason Cotton, his technology. And again, there's so many people that are so inspiring and so eager to share their information with you.
Yeah.
And
it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's a beautiful thing.
Who else did I forget? Of course, Penny. You can't forget Penny and Giles and Pierre and people that just know this industry inside and out and are just there to help.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And, I'm testament to that because, throughout the years, we've grown into so many different relationships that we never thought we'd have. Or maybe we thought about it, or maybe you say, well, one day when we get to whatever, and we're there, we've arrived, we've done great as a company, and we've done great in our industry. We've done great for our customers, for our dealers, for our vendors, for everybody they work with, because I think we still live to what you said years ago when you were asked, well, what do you want from this auction? You said excellence. And every time that we do something, we try to get to that excellence part. And I think that will never change. I think that we push each other for excellence. Mm-hmm. And that's something that will always resonate with me because, I still, I like the door says, exit to excellence. And when you come back in, it says enter to excellence. I think that's something that we really, really live by each and every day.
I hope so.
As we close up, let's talk about, is there a saying, a quote that you live by, something that you resonate, that always in the back of your head when you're tackling a hard time, a hard thing to do, a hard decision or something? Is there something that you live by? Because your dad is full of inspirational quotes.
Right behind you.
We get to do this?
We get to do this.
That's true.
I think about that all the time is when things are, we have a problem at the auction. I get to do this. What a blessing. I get to do this. I get to, what is the one that you've been saying lately is?
What Billie Jean King said years ago, pressure is a privilege.
A privilege, yeah. Exactly. It is a privilege. And while, again, we might not always get it right, we still are blessed to get to do this. Yeah. I love it. I'll figure it out. And, so I've got somebody that's got an issue, so the auction ends up with a car. That's okay. It's not the end of the world.
It's not the first car, and it's definitely not the last car.
I would love it to be the last. But yeah, it's certainly not the first.
Okay, so one last question before we close it out. What would you do different now in 2025 that you could have done back in 2008?
I'd have my flooring lined up with the bank before we opened. We would not go down that route.
You didn't know about flooring back then.
No,
this is another night at the bar where you're having drinks and you start writing on a cocktail napkin. It's could you foresee the difficult times that we're gonna be in?
I don't know that I could. I don't think I would have done anything different.
Would you change anything?
No, because I think everything we did it the hard way. So I think we learned. And if you're, Chad Bailey has a great tagline on his, I never win or lose. It's
something along the lines I either get the experience or.
Yeah, he's going to be mad because I can't remember it right now, but I love it. But basically, so if we did things wrong, we didn't lose. We learned from them. Which is a win. So I think that we did it the way we needed to do it because we created our own path. And I think I would do it the same way again. But I would definitely look into banks a little harder.
But please don't do it again.
I don't want to do it again. I can't do it again. No. I'm glad we did it then.
Well, I just want to say as we close out, thank you so much for everything that you've done, not only for me, but for my family. Your guidance, your leadership, your mentorship, because believe it or not, I look up to you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And I can't wait to see what the future holds, because if the past 10 years that I've been here have been exciting to me, I can only imagine what the next 10 are going to be. So thank you for that.
They're going to be great.
We all appreciate everything that you do. So, watch out, guys. We're coming Big Valley Auto Auction down here in beautiful Donna, Texas, way out in the middle of nowhere. That's right. So, and if, shameless plug, if there's any cars in the area that you might want to get picked up, give us a call. We'll be more than glad to help you
Yeah,
out.
to pick them up.
We'll be glad to pick them up. And don't forget, guys, here at Big Valley, we're driving excellence, helping you succeed one vehicle at a time. Because when you're here,
Your family.
that's right. And we get to do this. We get to
We
do
get
this.
to do this.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Love you.